Hey, I'm Anthony.
Hi, I'm Ellis, and this is Stupid Marketing Tweets, a podcast where we point out bad ideas that undermine the reality of marketing and perpetuate an echo chamber. What's our tweet today?
It's actually an interesting series of tweets, not a thread. We'll start with one tweet and then someone, I guess they call it subtweeting, when they retweet with a comment that's meant to not amplify the message, but comment on it without commenting on it. And then someone else responds to it. So we'll start with the original tweet. We're gonna not snark on the tweeters. We will snark on the tweets themselves. So this person says people spend $5,000 on a 5-day vacation, but won't spend $5,000 to start a business that could give them a lifetime of vacation. So let's start there. What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, Anthony, we've started our own business. Are we on vacation yet?
No. In fact, when is their time off? Any time off.
I did take a nap yesterday for Yom Kippur. That's about it.
Actually, I will say I still feel like I have more freedom running our business than anything else. Despite, I think it's my own personal habit that I work all the time, but we do have a lot of work to do, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Nevertheless, starting a business is not a lifetime of vacation, period.
No, far from it. And I would say that especially your first years of starting a business, you will not go on vacation. And if you're lucky enough to make a profit, you probably won't be making enough to go on vacation.
Right, right. And you see a lot of these people tweeting about their companies and how the first year or two things were really slow, or they were working all the time, hustling and grinding.
Well, and that's what drives me crazy about this is it's a value judgment, right? It's saying that a 5-day vacation is inherently worse than starting a business, right? How dare you go on vacation when you could be starting a business? Right? It's just like people who knock on, like people who don't have a lot of money. It's like, well, they have a new phone and they say they can't pay their rent. Like,
Right. Yeah. It's $100 a month, for a high-end phone and a high-end plan. Some people get away with it for 50 or less, but that is not the same as not owning a home.
it's the value judgment that really gets to me on this. Like, and it's something I really dislike about the online entrepreneur hustler space is that like we're so morally pure because we're hustling and grinding, like you said, and oh, it drives me batty.
Here's how to spend your money. So I like this guy. He retweets it and says, people spend $5,000 on a 5-day vacation, but won't spend $5,000 to invest in a 100-bagger that could give them a lifetime of vacation.
I don't know what a 100-bagger is.
And I didn't either until I looked it up right before the podcast. So a 100-bagger is a stock that grows from $1 to $100. So 100x growth. And typically, at least this guy who explained it, he's got a chart of like, for different eras in the last 50, 100 years, how long it's taken for a stock to go from $1 to $100. And it's a long-term game, even in today's market with really rapid growth. I think it said 16 years, something like that.
So when this guy says a lifetime of vacation, he means a lifetime of vacation in 15 to 20 years.
Right, and he's kind of being sarcastic, I think.
I
and
figured,
saying,
I just didn't get the joke.
Yeah, so I think it's a good joke, though, if you know what a 100-bagger is. People won't spend $5,000 to invest in something that will grow 100x over 15 years, And what I like is the third response to this tweet. He says, people spend $5,000 on a 5-day vacation, but won't spend $5,000 to start a business because not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur and to each their own.
Yes, and God forbid we take a vacation. Like, come on. I feel like that's another issue that's wrong, specifically in the United States, is that we really kind of have more of a negative attitude towards vacation, right? I mean, I can't tell you how many times I have worked on vacation because there's an emergency, Or people like, you're going to take off an entire week. Like, you can rarely ever take off more than a week, which is ridiculous. Where some of our clients in France are off for an entire month. And I say, more power to them. Absolutely. I will see you in 3 weeks when your autorespond says you'll be back.
Absolutely. We never spend a lot of money on vacations. I've got 3 kids, I'm married, going anywhere is typically $5,000 just to fly. So we're really, really budget conscious. But we did go to Germany for 3 months, and we were able to do it all for under $15,000. And to me, that was like an incredible experience, a life-changing experience. But we had to save up, and it wasn't a vacation, and I was still working and all of that. But man, I can't imagine a better spend of the money. And then we've done some vacations that have cost a few $1,000s, even for a week, and it is so worth it. So worth it.
It is. There's a reason. Like, vacations are very important. Even if you're by yourself, it's great to get away and do something new. If you have your family, right? It's good to still get away and have time together as a family doing something different, even though when you travel with kids, well, we won't get into that. But, saying it goes back to that value judgment. I would bet that the person who tweeted this does not have kids. I don't know, and that's fine, right? But there's just so much judgment.
Well, another thing that I see with people tweeting is it's like they're encouraging themselves, and they're just hoping that other people will chime in and say, yeah, you're right, man. Like, this person probably spent $5,000 to start a business and is hoping for that lifetime of vacation. But I guarantee you this person is not on a lifetime vacation yet. Why would they be tweeting?
Or this person is trying to sell something to people who want that lifetime vacation, and they're just selling a course or whatever they want people to buy.
That's true. I should take a look and see if there's a follow-up tweet. And that is so irritating. My friend Pete just recently tweeted about this. Any advice on the internet nowadays is like a secret sales pitch. They're not just giving you advice. The advice is meant to subscribe to my course or buy my book or follow me and, help me build my reputation. And to me, that's the same thing as like social media. Like, I can't spend $5,000 for a 5-day vacation, and I can't just be on social media because I enjoy it. I have to be hustling. I have to be growing my audience. I have to be turning it into something big and extravagant and that will make me feel powerful and popular. But some of the best accounts only have a few hundred followers, and it's because they have grown a professional network. They're not on there to BS people, like a lot of these tweets that we're seeing.
Yeah, I think a lot of these tweets that we mention on our podcast, people, like we say, it's for an echo chamber, but it's also for that kind of self-validation, because I know anytime you put out any sort of like critical ask, and when I say critical, not like putting them down, but like, have you actually thought that maybe that's not the right thing to do? A lot of people don't appreciate that. They don't appreciate getting a different perspective. They just want to have their own reinforced.
Yeah, or the idea that two things that are in conflict can both be true.
Right.
We see that in real life. Birds of a feather flock together and opposites attract. We know that those are two opposing statements that are true. So yeah, for the hustle and grind type, you might look at $5,000 and see opportunity. And that's cool. Totally cool.
Absolutely.
And for those of us who work really hard and just need a break, we look at $5,000 and go, oh, I can get a week or two of freedom. That sounds pretty awesome.
Exactly.
Well, we are running up against our 10-minute limit for this episode, so thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on Twitter. Ellis is at Ellis_types, and I am at ATGarone. That's Garone. And you can learn more about us at edifycontent.com.